is the brand new Gwen Stefani album, Bouquet, which was not on the top 100 list for Rolling Stone magazine, but we're going to discuss it anyways. Bouquet is the fifth studio album by American singer-songwriter Gwen Stefani. It was released on November 15th, 2024. It is her first release since 2017's You Make It Feel Like Christmas. Eric, your thoughts on this album?
So obviously my experience of Gwen Stefani has been with No Doubt.
Mm,
So her pop, like when she kind of went solo there and did a lot of pop music, like obviously I know, like, you ain't no hollaback girl.
yeah, all
Like,
about girl. Yeah, yeah,
so this is, so she's definitely entered the pop world, like popular music.
yeah.
Now, just because she's wearing a cowboy hat and she's obviously with Blake Shelton, I thought that this was going to be heavy country album,
That's
like
what I
she's
thought.
going
I
country,
thought so that
but it's
too.
not.
I know it's so weird.
It's not. It has a little bit of like country influence in there, like which I thought was kind of funny. How some of the lines, like in actually a couple of the songs, she was like, "I'm in a truck," right?
Yeah, right.
Which I thought was funny. But overall, I think Gwen Stefani has a unique voice, and I've always dug her voice. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just this cool, like it's not often you see a female singer sing like her.
Right.
Um, and I actually didn't mind the album. Like it was very short. It was 30 minutes clocking
Mm-hmm.
in total. And some of the songs were catchy. And what I liked about it being a pop album, it wasn't overproduced,
Yep.
which was nice. So it was very like the songs are the songs. You can play them. I thought that the songs were written well in terms of lyrics. I quite like them. They had a little bit of that country influence to them. And there are some songs that I actually really liked. I liked Marigolds, I thought was a cool song.
Mm-hmm.
Late to Bloom was probably my favorite song on the album. And obviously, I was like, okay, Blake Shelton's got to make an appearance here.
Yeah.
He's got to. And it was right at the end, Purple Irises. And I thought it was awesome. I thought it was good.
Yep. Uh, Sticking with Purple Irises. Did you find it weird that was the closing song?
I did.
I was
I
like,
did.
when I listened to that song and then I was like, oh cool, there's gonna be more songs after this, but it was like, no, that's the end of the
That's it.
album. It was a I don't think it was a good song, but I don't know if that was the right closer because it felt like there should have been more songs after that.
Mhm.
It didn't really flesh out the album.
Yeah, and saying that too, like if you were to pick a song that you would end on, I don't know what song would you choose?
Uh, maybe Marigolds, just because it sort of like drifts out eventually.
Hmm.
The- I would None of these songs really are closers to be honest, but maybe Marigolds.
Hmm. And that's the problem. Like the flow of the album was interesting because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, there's got to be more to
Yes.
this,
Yeah.
but then usually how my Apple Music plays is after the album's finished, it will just go to an artist that's similar
Mm.
to Gwen Stefani. And I was like, well, this is definitely not Gwen Stefani. So um yeah, I thought it was like it was short, which was nice to like hear a short album and it wasn't too long.
Hmm.
But I didn't think that the songs were arranged very well. It didn't really have a good flow.
Yeah. Yeah, the flow of the album was a bit weird for me. I think in terms of the subject matter, it was a very happy album. I would say a lot of the
Hmm.
subject matter was not. I don't think it was a lot of heartbreak or anything in there. It was very like positive type of music. Which I guess if you're gonna stick with that sort of vibe, short is probably better for an album.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know the whole arrangement of it. I was like, okay, this is interesting that this song leads into this song and then it sort of
Hmm.
abruptly ends at the very end. So like from an album perspective, it's like you might have wanted to add an extra song or just done something different with like the order of this track listing.
Hmm.
But I don't know. it's the song sounded good to me. I don't think it was anything particularly unique about it, other than her singing. Her singing like voice is like on point for the most part.
Hmm.
But it's not like her first debut album or solo album. I mean, I forget what it's called, but the acronym is LAM. I know that Love, Angel, Music, Baby. I think it is. Where that was like just off the charts of like, this is definitely pop, but no one's really done these rhythms or used
Hmm.
these sounds, or like it was in my mind in terms of the mainstream pop realm, it was sort of like a groundbreaking record because it wasn't sounding like anything else on the radio or any other pop music that's ever been done. Whereas this one, I think, firmly sits in like this has been done before. Um, and you don't have to like, break ground every single time, but at the same time, like I listen to this and I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't really, I didn't really need this album in my life.
See, when I listen to this, like again, like she definitely defined what pop music is with that album. Like,
Yep,
because I remember when she came out, it was just like,
it was
oh
huge.
shit, she's not in a ska band anymore. Like, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And a lot of people didn't even know she was in the ska band
that's
that liked her
true.
pop stuff, right?
That's
So that
wild.
was also interesting.
Yeah.
But what I thought was cool about, and what I think I really dug about the album, it was very matured in terms of her music. Like it was very just
Okay.
like, I am where I am in my life and I'm happy, and this is like it's almost like a wiseness that comes out of the music.
That's true.
Um
Yep.
so that's what I enjoyed, but you're right. There's nothing groundbreaking that's going to be like, this is like redefining pop music,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, that's a good point. Like, it's not pretending to be, you know, a young party person anymore. This is like
Mhm.
a mom, like a fully grown adult who's not like, getting drunk in
Mhm.
an alley every single night, right? Like it's not. I I do appreciate that it is an actual real. It's coming from a real place and not trying to be something that she isn't, which is
Mhm.
which is actually good. That's a good point. Okay, Eric, final thoughts, rating. What do you think?
I mean, I didn't actually hate it. I actually enjoyed listening to the songs, and I thought it was cool. I thought her voice suited the album very well and the music. So I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's redefining, like we said, but I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. I'm giving it a 6. Because I think it's above average. Like if 5 is the average, I think it's above average. I just don't think I would ever tell anyone to listen to this album. Like
I would
it's
agree.
yeah, it's something that you could get away with putting in the background and maybe you like listen to it once or twice, but after that it's like cool,
Mhm.
next. So that's, yeah, I'll give it a 6 for this one. Okay, perfect. So, for those of you following along with us every single week, the album that we are going to be discussing next time will be Father John Misty's. I don't know how to pronounce this. Mahashamashahana.
Mahashamanahana.
I don't even know what that means, to be honest. We'll probably have to figure that. We'll have to do some research to figure out what this all is. But this is the album that we are going to be listening to and discussing for next week. And that's the end of this week's podcast, or this episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast. We'll be back here Wednesday. We're on our Wednesday schedules now. At 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places where you get your podcasts. YouTube is where you get the album reviews. Join the Discord, all those social stuff, blah, 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 blah. Chasing Dragonflies, thanks for tuning in, and everyone else in the chat. And we will see you all next time.